Change your story, change your health. In fact, change your story and change your life. Hey, it's Dr. V, Dr. Kien Vu here, triple board certified MD and performance and longevity expert. And on this video today, I'm going to tell you the power of an empowering story, of the story we tell ourselves, and how having that empowering story will lead us to better health, to lead us to better longevity, to lead us to better success in all areas of life. Now, before we go into the science of an empowering story, if you're new to this channel, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss any future videos here. And if you've been following for a while, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for being a part of this journey, for learning with me, and so that we can elevate our lives together. Now, on today's video, like I said, an empowering story, the story that we tell ourselves, has such an important role when it comes to our health, to our longevity, to our performance, success in life, in business, and relationships. Now, why is that? Well, it all boils down to our emotions. Because if we tell ourselves an empowering story, we're going to feel things that are different. Yes? Yes or yes? And if we tell ourselves a disempowering story, we're going to give ourselves some different emotions. Yes? And what is the importance of emotions? Well, we know this in science. We know that there are high vibrational emotions like joy, like gratitude, like connection, like love. All those are positive emotions. And what that does is those things actually lower inflammation in your body. It also lowers cortisol, or the stress hormone in our body. And we know that those emotions lead to longer telomeres. And if you don't know what telomeres are, those are the things at the ends of your DNA that keep your cells from aging. So if you spend more time in those positive emotional states, they are actually anti-aging medicines. Now, what about the flip side? What about the negative emotions? Well, the negative emotions do the exact opposite. In fact, the negative emotions over a long period of time will lead to chronic symptoms and they'll lead to chronic disease. Why is that? Well, when you've got negative emotions such as anger, such as fear, such as worry, or anxiety, or hate, or jealousy, if you spend time in those emotions, you're basically driving up stress hormones in your body. And what happens with the stress hormones? Well, your body actually thinks that a saber-toothed tiger is running after you. So cortisol levels go up. What also happens is inflammation will go up, your immune system will go down, and that series of events of lowering your immune system, increasing inflammation, that drives basically your cells not to function very well. That leads to chronic symptoms, and over time, that will lead to chronic disease. If we want great health, we have to master our emotional states. And one of the things we can do to help master those emotional states is having a great story. Because having a good or empowering story for ourselves does several things. It helps us shift the focus of our lives. It helps us shift the meaning we give to our lives. And when we can shift our focus and meaning about what we think about ourselves, we'll start to shift our emotions. I'm going to give you guys a very concrete example. It was really a couple months after COVID-19 had hit. And I remember looking at my bank account and all my accounts were down. And just a few years ago, I had sold my house in the Silver Lake Hills, and I moved into I actually moved into a house that wasn't so fabulous. It has security bars wrapped around it. There was 2 liquor stores down the end of the block. I did this so I could save money, so I could have more time, so that I could work on my purpose. But right around that time also, my fiance Tiffany discovered that she was pregnant with our daughter. And her industry was completely shut down. And so she had basically moved herself and her 7-year-old daughter at the time, into this house. And I was thinking to myself, how is this thriving? What is it like to be a man having to provide for this family in this house that I felt so shameful being in? And I just remember weeks on end, I was thinking of my bank accounts. I was thinking of this house that, I felt ashamed to be in. And I remember just feeling very, very stressed. I remember losing a little bit of hair at the time, and it was bags under my eyes. What was happening at that time? I was telling myself I was a victim. I was telling myself that my worth and how I felt was tied to my bank accounts. I was telling myself the story that I was in this terrible place, this woe is me story. And because of that, I started to feel those emotions of worry, of anxiety. And guess what happened? My health suffered. But, you know, as things would have it, everything that we struggle through, we get something from it. You know, over time, if you know, we're in this road of making ourselves better, if we're in this road of personal development, we will soon find out, like Ram Dass said, struggle is really the sandpaper for our awakening. So no matter what you might be going through, if you happen to be struggling, know at the end that there is actually a gift that we're supposed to get. And I knew at the time there was going to be a gift for that struggle. There was going to be some silver lining. I just didn't know where it was going to come from. And I actually discovered this the day Kira moved in. You know, Kira had lived in basically an apartment her entire life. She's never had a porch. She's never had her own room. And so before they moved in, Tiffany and I decided to make a home for her. And so I had an office in one of the rooms. We, you know, really took out the office and gave Kira her own bedroom. And I remember this, when she first moved in, she just ran into her room because she's never had her own room before. She was jumping down, her new bed at the time. You know, I've got this porch that was very neglected porch, but she's never had a porch before. So she comes in, she starts running around the porch, and she was like, man, this place could have been like Disneyland. And to her, this was the best place ever. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh my gosh, look at the amount of joy that she has, the amount of gratitude she has being in this place that I was ashamed to be in. And that just completely knocked me out of my state. And over the next couple of months, I really had an opportunity to just really build the connection with Kira, my bonus daughter. Really started to form a connection, or a better connection, with my partner Tiffany and our relationship grew thereafter. And so, you know, love and connection was something that happened for me during this experience. And when I started to shift that story of, my God, COVID happened to me and all these things happened to me and my bank account hit and all these things, I was like, no, can I change the focus and meaning of what has happened? Byron Katie says, life is simple. It doesn't happen to us, but it happens for us. I butchered that quote a little bit, but think about how things are happening for us all the time. And if we could shift to that mode, because if we could always look at life as happening for us, we really give ourselves the space for inviting gratitude in. When I was focusing on how COVID was happening to me, it made me stressed. Again, anxiety, worry. And, you know, that took a toll on its health. I'm pretty sure my inflammatory markers were raised at the time. But with Kira's help, in her allowing me to see the gift of what it has given me, what was always there was this ability to grow more love, grow more connection. And when I changed that story of how this thing was happening to me, of how this thing was actually happening for me, I started to really be able to, you know, open my heart into more emotions of gratitude, more emotions of love, more emotions of connection. And again, when I was able to feel those things, I was able to sleep better. I felt a lot better. Again, all those positive emotional states are anti-aging. You know, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to worry every now and then. That's normal. But when it becomes a long period of time where we're feeling those emotions, they can wreak havoc on our body. So one, it's so important to be aware of those things. And then if there is one technique that I can impart to you, is having that empowering story. So wherever you are in your life right now, I invite you to know that you are the author of your book. You are the author of your life. And no matter where you are right now, there are still many, many chapters in your life that you get to write. I believe it was Brene Brown that said, if you deny your story, you get to keep it. But if you own your story, you get to change the ending. So wherever you are right now, know that you are the author of it. So you could change it at any time. You can create a new focus, a new meaning. You can always say, hey, I've got this struggle now, but that struggle made you grow your gift. It made you stronger in some way. For what? You get to write those final chapters. And so if you're able to do that, you can not only take control of your health, you can take control of your life, you can take control of your relationships, you can take control of your finances, all by telling yourself a more empowering story. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Having an empowering story can help shift emotional states. And again, those emotional states are medicines in our body. So let me ask you right now, is there a story in your life that you would like to shift? And if so, what is the new empowering story that you like to have? I want to know in the comments below. Go ahead and leave your empowering story. And remember always, you are your best medicine.